Hello, welcome to the CU Boulder Electrical Computer and Energy Engineering Prospective PhD webinar. My name is Lori and I am the PhD advisor in our department, and I will be guiding you through this webinar today. So a bit about CU Boulder, our college, and our department. CU Boulder and the town of Boulder have been voted one of the top college towns in America multiple times, and Boulder itself has been voted the best place to live in the USA multiple times as well. At the link here, you can learn more about living in the greater Denver area and sort of what there is to explore and see and live and do as a resident. You will be able to access the recording of these slides after the presentation. There's a PDF that you can download and it will allow you to click on the links. So please be sure to do that so you can actually see these things that I point out throughout this webinar. You can also check out our virtual campus tour feature at the link here. Moving on from there, the College of Engineering and Applied Science is sort of the overarching entity that the department is a part of at the university. So the university is split into multiple colleges, and engineering has its own with 16 departments within it. We are ranked number 16 among public computer engineering programs and number 17 in electrical engineering programs in the U.S. News & World Report's Best Graduate Schools for 2024. The college itself, which encases those 16 departments I just mentioned overall, is ranked number 12 overall in the nation from the U.S. News & World Report for fall 2024. The College of Engineering and Applied Science welcomed its largest ever cohort of doctoral students in fall 2024, which we are very proud of. We have had a 25% rise in PhD enrollment year over year, and CU Engineering continues to solidify its reputation as a leader in graduate education, particularly among women and students from minoritized communities. Our department itself has around 125 PhD students at any time, with 40 tenure track faculty members. We have multiple PhD student groups, including IEEE, the Electrical Engineering Graduate Student Association, Women in ECEE, the Optical Society of America, and the CU Energy Club. Our PhDs are from over 28 states and over 16 countries. We are 64% domestic students and 36% international. Our PhDs come to us from all ranges in ages, so from the 20s to the 60s. It's never too old to continue learning. And 25% of our EC PhDs are women, and 38% of the College of Engineering and Applied Science PhDs are women. It is something we really value in our department and at the university. We are committed to fostering inclusive excellence, increasing the diversity of our faculty, staff, and student voices, and providing a positive, equitable, and welcoming departmental community. In 2023, the university conducted the nationwide Grad SERU survey, which stands for the Graduate Student Experience Survey in the Research University. The College of Engineering and Applied Science is really proud to note that the PhD students who participated are generally satisfied, very satisfied with their experience at CU Boulder. So you can read through some of these stats here. What's great for me, and when I look at this, is that 89% would choose their field again, 86% would choose the same advisor again, 84% would choose CU Boulder again, 89% indicated their advisor can successfully help them, etc. So please be sure to read through this, but please note that the university does often look at the climate of our departments, of our college, and the university as a whole to try and improve that student experience, and the responses that we've gotten are generally very positive from students. Moving on to talking specifically about our PhD program and its requirements and what admissions look like. We admit around 55 PhD students each year, of which around 30 then accept our admissions offer. We receive about 350 applications total within that period that our faculty review. Our minimum threshold to apply to the PhD is a 3-point GPA or higher on the 4.0 scale from a STEM-focused Bachelor of Science program. So we do have PhD students who come to us with electrical engineering backgrounds, computer engineering backgrounds, computer science, physics, mechanical, all different kinds of STEM related work. That is totally fine. The biggest hurdle any student faces, just making sure that you can handle the rigor of the graduate coursework and you have that knowledge of the math and science needed to be successful in those classes. Please note, minimum threshold, that just means that's all we need for you to be able to apply, but we will look at every single aspect of an application when making admissions decisions. So this, just because you have a GPA above 3.0 does not mean you would be admitted. You can apply with or without a master's degree. There is no requirement for one. And about half of our admits actually come to us right out of an undergraduate program. So it's 50-50 on people who have a master's degree or previous work experience or people coming straight from undergraduate. In the next few slides, I'm going to go over specifically what constitutes our PhD program, but there is a link here as well where you can see all the PhD requirements too. Okay, so program milestones and checkpoints. The next two slides are an estimate. This is not the same path for every single student. Everyone's PhD experience is going to be slightly different, mainly because no one can force your research to cooperate. So because of that, timelines can look very different from student to student. That's all just part of being a PhD. So in years 1 to 3, generally, we see students completing their coursework. So if you were coming in with no master's degree, this would be 30 credits of coursework, which is 10 classes that are generally completed in the first 2 years. If you have a master's degree, you are able to submit a transfer of credit form, which allows you to transfer in 21 credits from a previous master's degree, which would mean you would only have to complete 9 credits, 3 classes at CU. These classes in your first year, especially for both students coming in without a bachelor's or, without a master's or with a master's, are going to be focused around your preliminary exam that will happen either in your first or second year, which you can see here at the bottom of this slide. So you will be told upon entry like what classes are required, what you need to take to prepare for this exam, etc. You do have to get a grade of B- or higher in all of your classes and maintain a GPA above 3.0 in order to graduate. So there's also mentioned here in your first year, you would set up a support committee where you'd start to get mentors that could potentially join your committee for later on in your PhD. You would also complete a practicum assignment, which ignore these notes about February 2023 and all of that. It's basically just a leadership experience that students take on that provides you with conference travel funding for later in the PhD. Also in years 1 to 3, you would begin your research, potentially the actual dissertation project. In years 4 to 6, you move fully into doing your thesis and dissertation hours. And so you need 30 credits of thesis hours in order to defend your thesis and graduate. So you're working on your research, you then qualify to take your comprehensive exam. Usually within a year after your comprehensive exam, you also take your final defense, you apply to graduate, and you finish the PhD. Obviously, there's a lot more to it. We are talking about quite a length of time here, but that's just sort of the general flow of what the degree looks like. I also want to make sure to note that we do conduct semesterly reviews on the PhD experience. So it's optional for PhD students to provide information during this check-in, but we'll ask for things about your accomplishments, publications, presentations, and ways that we can celebrate you and what you have done throughout the PhD and what questions you might have and what could be answered. We also ask for any concerns you might have in the PhD so we can help to correct those and make sure that you're really having a positive experience. Your faculty advisor is required to submit a review of you every fall and spring semester. And we do this to make sure that everyone is always informed, in control, and confident about their progress, where they stand, what's happening within the PhD on the larger scale of like how the department is viewing their progress. So this happens again every semester. We found it's been really positive in helping to make sure that everyone stays on track with making sure the PhD is accomplished in the way that offers the best experience. Area to me is the most important part of applying to the PhD and in selecting CU Boulder for your PhD. In our department, we have 7 broad areas of research, which you can see here. Please note that on our research page, which is linked here, there's some cross-collaborating teams listing other research areas on that page. Those aren't the ones you'll see on the application because those are sort of like a project our faculty work on together, that's sort of unrelated to the core admissions setup that we have in the application. So please ignore that. You're going to pick one of these 7 areas on there. The faculty in any of those tertiary options are also listed in these options as well. So that's where you'll find more of their information. Our faculty have a lot of research collaborations, both in Colorado and with national labs, major corporations, government, etc. So what's really, really cool, I think, about Boulder itself is that we have 4 national laboratories within a 30-minute drive of our location. So you have NCAR, NOAA, NIST, and NREL. NIST is actually, you can walk to there from the CU campus. It takes 20 minutes. And we have a lot of researchers from NIST who actually love to recruit students and have them work in the national lab while completing their PhD. Same goes for NREL, and we have faculty who have worked at NOAA or NCAR or have appointments there as well. So really rich level of exposure to national labs, very interesting research happening, very cool to get involved in, so something to consider when you're applying. Our faculty also work with the Department of Defense, Lockheed Martin, Ball Aerospace, Raytheon, Qualcomm, and others based in the greater Denver area. Denver is a growing tech hub, so we are seeing a lot more engineering focused organizations and corporations relocating to the Denver area, which is really awesome. One of the biggest that is occurring right now is quantum. The state government just broke ground on a several $100 million quantum complex that's going to be opened about 30 minutes from campus. That will be a collaboration with us, the national labs, the Colorado School of Mines, Colorado State University, etc. So I do think in the next 5 to 10 years, you are going to see quantum absolutely explode in Boulder, and especially in our department where we have a huge focus on quantum as well. You can always check our recent news on our research, funding, etc., student accomplishments on our LinkedIn page or on our departmental news page. So I said before that research area is the most important part of a PhD and about why you would select CU Boulder. And so much of that is because your match with your faculty advisor is what makes your PhD. So please be sure to go through our research area page, look at what our faculty are doing, and see if it's something that you are actually interested in. Because you need to spend 4 to 6 years on the PhD, and you want to make sure it's on something that you are excited about and, want to devote that much time and energy and experience to. So please be sure to check that. You really want to make sure and see that you don't have to fully understand everything that faculty member is doing because, again, like you're going to learn that throughout the PhD. But if you have a passion for their type of research, that really matters in selecting them, that research area, electrical engineering at CU Boulder, and choosing to apply in our program. You do not need to secure an advisor in advance of applying. All you need to do is apply. So when you fill out the application, like I said before, it'll list those research areas. You're going to select one of those, and then when your application comes through to us, that will indicate which faculty are assigned to review your application. All the faculty in that noted research area will read it and determine if your interests align with their work and if you have potential for a complementary advising relationship with them. So again, this is the part where, like in your statement of purpose, you really want to indicate that you have researched our website, researched our faculty, looked at what they do, and decided who you want to work with and why. Make sure to tell us about that. Please also note, admissions are restricted to faculty having available research funds and space in their groups for the students they wish to admit. This policy is to protect admitted and current students because we guarantee 5 years of funding when a student is admitted. So a faculty member has to have that in order to continue to admit new students because no student in our program is unfunded. Some faculty may not be recruiting every year because they are fully funding their current PhDs. Their groups are maxed out. They cannot handle any more students at that time. So if you are trying to come to CU to only work with one very specific person, you can email them directly to see if they are recruiting before spending money on your application. if you're more open to like what the whole research area is doing, or you just put in the application regardless, everyone in that research group is still going to review it. So please don't worry about that. Like your application will be reviewed. I just mentioned that all of our PhD students are funded. So all PhD applicants are automatically considered for funding when they apply. No applicant needs to submit any additional information or secure funding in advance. Again, all of our offers include funding, so those all come together. All of our PhD students are funded on 50% graduate research appointments, which is a 20-hour per week role, which is considered full-time for a student at CU Boulder. We rarely use teaching assistant appointments, so all of our students can expect to be active in research from the start of their PhD. Our research appointments currently pay $3,224 per month pre-taxes. This includes the coverage of student fees and 91% of health insurance costs if students opt in for health insurance. The application itself has just a few steps. So you need to complete the formal application and pay the application fee. Our next slide will go over fee waivers. It's a $60 domestic application fee and $80 international application fee. If you are an international student, you will need to submit English proficiency scores. This is not required for applicants from India or Nigeria. There's more details on other countries and specific score requirements on that link there. You need 3 letters of recommendation. Please do not submit more than 3. We will not even add them to the application or consider them. We need unofficial copies of all transcripts, and we will take care of all foreign transcript evaluations, so no one needs to have WES or any other organization provide that foreign transcript evaluation. You only need to submit official transcripts if you are accepted and choose to attend. You'll also submit a statement of purpose, which is 500 to 750 words, double-spaced. Please, please, please do not go over this limit. Again, our faculty are receiving over 300 applications just from PhD students, plus around another 500 to 700 for master's applicants. If you want to hold their attention, be concise. Stick to 500 to 750 words maximum. Note which of our faculty you want to work with and why. Tell us about the research you are passionate about and what you hope to accomplish in the PhD. Be sure to take care in the statement. I can't even tell you how many times that people have listed the incorrect school, have never mentioned our faculty in their statement, or have written 4 to 7 pages recounting their whole life story that doesn't actually ever really tell us anything about why CU Boulder, why electrical engineering, etc. Please also make sure we do the research you are interested in. Again, that's really important why you should research our faculty and what they are doing. And please note that VLSI and embedded systems are not PhD research areas we offer. The GRE is completely optional. We do not consider it to be a strong indicator of student success. So if you don't have it, don't worry about it. We don't need it. The deadline for fall admissions annually is December 15th. We do not review any applications until after the December 15th deadline. So while it's great if you got your application in early, it's literally just going to sit and wait for the December 15th deadline for us to move forward with reviewing it. This is just because our faculty like to review all the applicants together at one time instead of, we don't do rolling admissions or anything like that. Applicants will be notified of the decision this should not say late February. It will actually, yes, late February, first week of March is normally the most common time we send out the notifications through April 15th. And my email is here if you want to email me with any questions. This is probably the question I get most often, just about fee waivers. So the college has a list of application fee waivers for US citizens and permanent residents that is active until November 15th. If you are a domestic resident, US citizen, etc., please be sure to click this link and look through it. It covers 20 different organizations you could be a part of. If you had a 3.4 GPA or higher from your undergraduate institution, you get a fee waiver, etc. So please be sure to check this link out. You will hopefully be able to qualify. If you are undocumented or a DACA beneficiary, you can email gradadm@colorado.edu to inquire about possible fee waivers. And if you are an international student, the ECEE department will review other PhD applicant need-based fee waiver requests up until November 15th as well. You would just click on this link and fill out this form. Faculty will review these submissions, but there is no guarantee of receiving a fee waiver. You do not need to email specific faculty to get a fee waiver. You only need to complete this form to be considered. Please note the tricky thing with fee waivers is that the university still requires the department to pay that cost. It doesn't get waived. It would be awesome if it did, but we still have to pay it. And because of this and the very, very, very high number we receive, I would say it's October and I've already received close to 200 fee waivers requests. We aren't able to cover all of those for all the people who request them. So please know, as much as we would like to, because we still have to pay that cost from our own budget, it's just not something that we are able to do. But if you fill out that form before November 15th, it will at least put your application information, so it'll be your resume, in front of our faculty so they can see if we would be able to offer a fee waiver at that time. Okay, so we're almost to the end. This is just a quick slide about living in Boulder. So 81% of CU Boulder College of Engineering graduate students do live in the city of Boulder. 22% live in family and graduate housing. The housing and residence life teams are working to reserve more housing for graduate students, particularly for our international students. So this is just really, you can see here, majority of students live in Boulder, and then the rest live in the surrounding towns around Boulder. What's really awesome about the greater Denver area, and this is included in your student fees, is that you do get a bus pass for the whole region. And there are very, very consistent and elaborate isn't exactly the word I want to use, but there are bus lines to these towns that will take you directly to campus. That does make it easier for students who are open to commuting a bit further in order to get a little bit space from Boulder itself. And this is the final slide, which is some most commonly asked questions, which some are repeats of things we've already gone over in the presentation itself. So, do I need to secure an advisor before applying? Nope. Faculty in your area of interest will review your application for admittance to their group without any contact to them beforehand. I emailed the faculty I'm interested in, but they haven't responded. Should I be worried? Nope, no need to be worried here either. Our faculty are very busy, so they're not always able to reply to emails of interested applicants. Please know they mean no offense with this. They are just dealing with a lot of their own work, their classes, their research groups, and they just can't respond to the mass influx of requests that they receive. Do I need to secure funding before applying? And do I need to fill out a separate application for funding? Nope. All of our PhD offers include funding unless the applicant has other stated means, such as tuition remission with their employer, home country government scholarships, etc. You only need to complete the one application. And what is the most commonly made application mistake? And I would say this is not researching an advising match with our faculty. At the level of PhD, research is so specific that only a few people globally may work on that project. Be sure we are actively researching what you are passionate about before applying. If you have any more questions about our PhD program, please feel free to email me. My email is at the bottom of this slide, and we look forward to hearing from you soon and hopefully reviewing your application. Thank you.